All right, ladies and gents, we got old Project Pennyworth back at the house. So we are still trying to address a little bit of a tick. At this point, I'm thinking push rod for the fuel pump, maybe, because I've went through the valve adjustment 3 times. I've even used the do it while it's running method, which I hate to do, but I did it. Still haven't finished cleaning up from it, but it's doesn't seem to be the lifters, even though it sounds like it's coming from down in the lifter valley. It could still be one, though, because when I first crank it up, it'll do it for a few seconds, and it does it after it gets completely warmed up, which really sounds like a lifter bleeding down. But at this point, we're gonna run it for a little while and see how it goes, because I can't find anything else. I probably will try and run it without the fuel pump for a little while. I'll have to rig up some kind of system that drip feeds the carb, because it doesn't do it but periodically, and it's not probably going to do it as soon as I crank it up, and even if I let it warm up. Anyway, point being, I'm going to have to do that on another day and kind of rig up some kind of system for it. Today, however, we're going to be doing some exhaust work. I've already gotten most of it done, actually. The only parts left are the hard parts, so I figured I'd show y'all some of the stuff I'm doing on it, and we'll kind of go from there. Basically what's going on is I didn't want to do the exhaust all the way out the back because it's kind of a pain in the ass when you're installing it, and if I ever have to move it later and things of that nature. And I've always liked the look, let me get some of this stuff out of the way, of the exhaust coming out right here. Just actually want it centered about right there and sticking out maybe to about right here. And that's what we're going for here. And up under here, oops, I'm dropping bolts. You can see I've already got most of it welded up. And what I'm trying to do is to come out of the pipe and let it tuck around these brake lines. These are actually the cables to run the rear brakes for the emergency brake, or parking brake, whatever you want to call it. Anyway, so what I'm about to do is bolt it up and get it all into place and figure out where I need my hangers. And then we got to do the other side. I had to do some pretty creative welding right here. See if we can get that to focus. Hold up 1 second, let me get a flashlight. You can actually see what I'm talking about. So this creative welding here, which is actually a plate on the back to fill in the hole, is the weird angle that I had to use to get around everything. It's not really closing the pipe off or anything, so I'm kind of happy with that. I was worried last night, but now that I'm looking at it, because when I went to bed last night, my thoughts were, oh dang, did I close it off too much? But no, I mean, it's ugly, but not too many people are going to be sticking their head under here and looking at it. Grimmy, you're probably going to get under here and look at it, just because I'll end up forcing you to show you that I can weld, even if it is crappy. But otherwise, none of y'all are going to be looking at this. If you are, then yeah, whatever. But see, on this other side, the pipe goes up a little bit higher. It's hung a little bit higher, so that weld is going to be, pretty different than this one. But I don't have any lines to go around, so I can kind of do a straight shot a lot more than I could on this side. Look at that pipe, I keep hitting my head on it. Anyway, I'm gonna get this bolted up, and once I get this side hung, I'll probably come back to you and show you the process on trying to get this angled properly, and see if we're gonna have to cut any of this off. I'm sure we are. We'll probably have to take a corner off of this like we did on this, and then take another piece of pipe I have and cut some pie cuts to close everything in. But I'll get back with you shortly. All right, boys and girls, we got one side of the exhaust done up yesterday. I'd set it for a time lapse, but this is the second time I've done that and screwed it up somehow, so I don't really have much footage from it. But here's the end result as far as where it's sticking out the side, and I'm sure it's quite obvious that that is sticking forward. Actually a little bit. I don't know if it is obvious. Maybe I'll come back out some. But that is actually canted forward several degrees. So eventually what I'm going to do is cut the pipe right here after the hanger. Yeah, sorry, I couldn't think of the word. I'm gonna cut it right there. There's already a little groove right there that'll hold the saw well. I'm gonna cut about 3/4 out of the back side here, make it about a 1/4 inch wide cut, like actually use the grinder and go in and kind of triangulate it, and then that will allow me to just bend this into place where I want it, and then weld up a little line there to close it back up. But for right now, I'm just trying to get everything done because I want to be able to drive my truck. So, give y'all a little bit of an idea of what I've went through here. I had a kit that was supposed to go all the way out the back of the truck, and I decided for multiple reasons to do it this way. But when I realized where I wanted to go out, I then saw that I had all this stuff in the way. So I found a part of the kit that would allow me to track it as close as I could to everything and then cut under it and back out. So that was the end result. And when this is finished, it'll be sitting right here, and I'm gonna have some kind of tip on it. I just haven't decided yet. I want to get everything in place first, and that'll let me know how long of a tip and all that I need. But today we are going to be doing the same thing to this side. So I've already marked this pipe. So what I've got to do is cut this out, because I don't want that blocking the inside here, because I'm mating this pipe to it somehow, essentially like that. Let me pull out so y'all can see some more. But yeah, basically that's going to go like that, and I've got it marked where it needs to be, as far as basically that will be exactly where I need to be. Now as far as the cant back and the tilt back and all that, it's going to be a little funny to figure out, but like I said, I'm already going to have to adjust the other one, so I may as well just go ahead and finish this one out, because I expect to have to make some adjustments there in the end to make it perfect. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and get started on that, grind that little portion out right there. I'm going to leave the black line because I actually want the metal to mate right there. So it's going to be a tiny little lip on the inside, but it's going in the right direction. It's not going to create any kind of flow or any flow issues or anything. And from the looks of it, once this is done, it'll open that pipe up just plenty. Anyway, I'm going to get started on this. I'm going to try and do a time lapse for you. We'll see how it works. Well, we got some ugly welding done. I'm gonna grind a lot of this down and make sure I don't have any holes in it. But I just use that little extra piece of pipe that I cut off of another one and filled that hole in. And hopefully well, it ain't no hopefully to it. It's gonna hold because I'm gonna make it hold. Anyway, I'm gonna do a little bit of grinding, and I'll get back with there she is. The second side turned out a lot better than the first. Of course, I'll probably still move it backwards, maybe a 1/4 inch or 2, maybe a whole inch, I don't know. I'll move it backwards to wherever it ends up. And we're about to fire it up and see how it sounds. So I figured I'd bring you all along for that ride. And we'll go from there.